Do you want to live a long life, sleep soundly, and wake up each morning bursting with energy? Sometimes the secret is as simple as getting rid of these 7 seemingly harmless items in your bedroom. When you pass the age of 70, every night's sleep becomes more than just rest. It turns into a precious healing treatment for both your body and mind. But did you know certain items, if left in your bedroom, can silently disrupt your sleep, accelerate aging, and even weaken your health in ways you might never expect? Today, I'm going to reveal 7 items that older adults absolutely must remove from their bedrooms to protect their health, extend their lifespan, and enjoy more energetic days. Pay special attention to item number 5. It is something almost everyone overlooks, yet its danger is surprisingly serious. Before we dive in, leave a positive affirmation in the comments below as a commitment to your own health and happiness. Something like, "I deserve peaceful sleep and a strong, healthy body," or feel free to share any positive wish you like. Also, do not forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel so you never miss more amazing tips to help you live a healthier, happier life. Let us build a vibrant, positive community together. Now, as promised, let me reveal which items you should immediately remove from your bedroom. First, old armchairs. You might be surprised, but old armchairs are actually considered one of the top items that seniors, especially those over 70 years old, should not keep in their bedrooms. Why would a familiar piece of furniture full of memories become a hidden threat to your health and well-being? First, let us talk about the nature of old armchairs. After years of use, they easily accumulate dust, moisture, and countless tiny bacteria and molds that the naked eye cannot see. For older adults, whose immune systems are already weaker, long-term exposure to this kind of environment can trigger respiratory illnesses, such as asthma, bronchitis, skin allergies, or chronic sinusitis. Even worse studies have shown that allergens building up in old furniture can drastically reduce sleep quality, leading to chronic fatigue without people realizing the true cause. Beyond physical health, an old armchair can also have a deep psychological impact. A worn-out, faded, sagging chair unintentionally creates a heavy, outdated atmosphere, constantly reminding the elderly of the past, especially memories of loss, illness, or hard times. A bedroom should be a sanctuary of rest and positive energy, but an old, tired chair can quietly anchor emotions in sadness and regret. Over time, these negative emotions can lead to chronic insomnia, mild to severe depression, and a significant decline in quality of life. On top of that, from a safety perspective, an old armchair with a weakened structure, rotting wood, or broken springs can easily cause accidents. One hard landing or an unstable push when trying to stand up could result in injuries, dislocations, or dangerous falls, something extremely risky for anyone over 70 years old. Moreover, the bedroom should be a neat, fresh space where good energy flows freely. Worn-out, broken furniture like old armchairs is often seen as harboring stagnant energy, creating a feeling of sluggishness, exhaustion, and confinement. Seniors are particularly sensitive to such changes, so decluttering and refreshing the living space is not just about aesthetics, it directly impacts both their mental and physical health. Second, items stored under the bed. In daily life, using the space under the bed for storage might seem harmless. However, for older adults, especially after 70 years old, piling things under the bed poses serious health and psychological risks. First, we must understand that the area under the bed is extremely difficult to clean thoroughly. Once clutter builds up, dust, bacteria, mold, and even microscopic parasites like dust mites can easily multiply. For seniors with weakened immune systems, exposure to these elements is particularly harmful. Breathing air filled with fine dust and mold spores throughout the night dramatically increases the risk of respiratory diseases like asthma, pneumonia, and chronic bronchitis. In addition, sleep quality is silently affected. A bedroom full of dust and musty odors makes it harder to fall into deep sleep. Seniors already have lighter, more fragmented sleep, and even slightly poor air quality can cause them to toss and turn all night, leading to chronic fatigue. Poor sleep not only leaves them drained during the day, but also worsens underlying conditions such as high blood pressure, diabetes, and memory decline. From a psychological standpoint, a cluttered, cramped environment creates a sense of pressure and invisible stress. Due to natural physiological changes, older adults are more sensitive to their surroundings. Every morning and night being greeted by piles of clutter can subtly plant feelings of anxiety, sadness, or helplessness over time. Another critical issue that often goes unnoticed is the risk of accidents. Seniors can easily trip over items stored under the bed while bending down or moving things around. A minor fall at this age can lead to serious consequences: fractured bones, internal bleeding, or even permanent loss of independent mobility. Third, shaggy rugs. First, it is important to understand that no matter how soft and cozy they feel, shaggy rugs are ideal breeding grounds for dust, mites, pollen, bacteria, and mold. The long tangled fibers make it nearly impossible to clean thoroughly with just a vacuum. For older adults, breathing in air filled with dust and bacteria night after night can easily trigger chronic respiratory conditions like asthma, bronchitis, pneumonia, and allergies, all of which can cause their overall health to decline rapidly. But that is not all. Shaggy rugs also indirectly disrupt sleep for seniors. Older adults tend to sleep lightly and wake up easily. Sleeping in a room filled with musty odors from the rug or even minor irritation from breathing in dust particles can cause restless, shallow sleep. Sleep that is frequently interrupted or not deep enough is a major factor behind memory loss, emotional disturbances, and the worsening of underlying conditions, such as high blood pressure, diabetes, or heart disease. Besides respiratory and sleep issues, another major risk is falls. Thick, shaggy rugs tend to shift easily and create uneven surfaces on the floor. With their declining balance, older adults are far more prone to tripping over these rugs. As you know, a fall at 70 years old or older can have devastating consequences. Fractured hips, broken wrists, spinal injuries, or even being bedridden for extended periods. Psychologically, a dusty, musty-smelling rug creates a heavy, stifling atmosphere in the bedroom. Older adults with their heightened environmental sensitivity are easily affected by such negative feelings. Living in a stuffy, unclean space for a long time raises the risk of depression, fatigue, and a loss of vitality, all of which severely reduce quality of life and slow down the body's healing processes. Fourth, artificial scented candles. First, it is important to understand that many types of artificial scented candles are made from paraffin, which is a petroleum byproduct. When burned, paraffin releases a mixture of toxic chemicals such as benzene and toluene, both of which have been classified by the World Health Organization as potential carcinogens. Although the amount of chemicals released from a single small candle might seem insignificant for older adults whose respiratory functions are weakened and whose detoxification abilities are reduced, long-term accumulation in a closed sleeping environment can have serious health consequences. Furthermore, the smoke from these candles can irritate the respiratory mucosa. Seniors are particularly prone to dry throats, persistent coughing, bronchitis, and even asthma attacks due to breathing polluted air every night. A study from the University of South Carolina found that prolonged exposure to indoor burning products increases the risk of pneumonia and chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, which is commonly known as chronic obstructive pulmonary disease illnesses that are extremely dangerous for the elderly. Besides the physical effects, the psychological impact on seniors should not be overlooked. Volatile chemicals and overly strong artificial fragrances can cause dizziness, mild headaches, and lingering fatigue. Over time, these issues can lead to sleep disorders, persistent lethargy, and even worsen cognitive decline, which is already common with aging. Another serious risk is the danger of fire accidents. Older adults may forget to extinguish candles before falling asleep, or their reduced mobility might cause them to accidentally knock over a candle, igniting bedding, carpets, or curtains. In a confined space like a bedroom, even a moment of carelessness could result in devastating consequences. Of course, everyone wants a bedroom that smells fresh and pleasant, but for older adults, respiratory health and safety must always come first. If you want to create a natural fragrance in the bedroom, there are safer options Use natural essential oils with gentle diffusers without burning, or simply open the windows to let fresh air circulate, bringing a clean and refreshing atmosphere. 5th, heavy blackout curtains. Heavy blackout curtains have long been considered a lifesaver for those who need a quiet, dark environment for sleep, especially in bustling cities where streetlights blaze brightly all night long. However, for older adults, especially after the age of 70, using overly thick blackout curtains in the bedroom can actually have the opposite effect on their health. At first glance, blocking out light to keep the room dark and easier for sleeping might seem like an ideal choice, but the truth is, keeping the room completely dark after sunrise disrupts the body's natural biological clock. Daylight is the strongest signal to tell the brain that it is time to wake up, recharge, and start functioning. When the bedroom is sealed off by heavy curtains, the brain is tricked into thinking it is still nighttime. As a result, an increase in melatonin production, the hormone that promotes sleepiness, causes older adults to feel sluggish and lethargic throughout the day. A decrease in serotonin production, the hormone essential for alertness, enthusiasm, and positive mood regulation. Prolonged low serotonin levels are also linked to a higher risk of depression and loss of motivation among seniors. For older adults, the imbalance between melatonin and serotonin is not just about feeling sleepy or lazy. It also leads to circadian rhythm disorders, which negatively affect nighttime sleep quality, cause chronic insomnia, daytime fatigue, cognitive decline, and can even worsen conditions such as high blood pressure, diabetes, and heart disease. Not to mention a bedroom that remains completely dark, even during the day, can have a negative impact on mental health. Living in an environment lacking natural sunlight for a long time can easily lead to depression, irritability, and a loss of interest in daily activities, especially for those who have a history of mild depression or feelings of loneliness in old age. The lack of daylight can cause their psychological state to deteriorate rapidly without their families even realizing it. Instead of using overly thick blackout curtains, choose light-colored curtains made of lightweight materials that allow a moderate amount of natural light to filter into the room each morning. You can also use double-layered curtains, a sheer layer for the daytime and a heavier layer to pull across only at night when you need complete darkness for sleeping. Most importantly, allow the sunlight to naturally wake your body each morning, helping the brain reset a healthy biological rhythm and enhancing overall health. 6th, keeping the phone on the bed. Today, smartphones have become inseparable from almost everyone, including seniors. Many older adults are in the habit of keeping their phones right next to their beds within arm's reach, so they can easily answer emergency calls, check the time, or browse the news before sleeping. However, this habit is extremely detrimental to the physical and mental health of anyone over 70 years old. First, the blue light emitted by phone screens has a powerful effect on the brain. Blue light suppresses melatonin production, the hormone that helps us feel sleepy and maintain deep sleep. When seniors are exposed to blue light in the evening, their bodies mistakenly interpret it as daytime, making it harder to fall asleep and leading to restless, shallow sleep. Since seniors naturally experience more fragmented sleep, exposure to blue light only worsens insomnia, causing persistent fatigue, memory decline, and overall health deterioration. Not only that, using the phone before bed overstimulates the brain. News updates, social media, and message notifications all keep the mind busy and stressed instead of relaxed. This overstimulation can raise the heart rate and cause a mild increase in blood pressure before sleep, very dangerous for those with heart conditions or hypertension. Additionally, even just checking the phone for a few minutes in the middle of the night can disrupt the natural sleep cycle, leading to grogginess and lack of vitality. The next morning, another often overlooked concern is electromagnetic radiation from phones. Although modern smartphones emit low levels of radiation, keeping them close to the head for several hours every night exposes the body to continuous electromagnetic waves. While research has not yet fully determined the precise risks, many health experts recommend that seniors whose bodies are more sensitive minimize close exposure to electronic devices during sleep to protect the nervous and immune systems. Psychologically, Having the phone right by the bed also creates a subtle sense of anxiety. A sudden ring in the middle of the night, a message notification, or even the faint blinking of a screen can easily startle a sleeping senior. Repeated disturbances like these can cause sleep disorders, heightened anxiety, decreased quality of life, and even exacerbate heart or neurological conditions. Seventh bright, digital clocks. Many seniors have the habit of placing a bright digital clock right next to their bed to easily check the time during the night. At first glance, this may seem harmless, but in reality, it quietly destroys the body's natural biological rhythm, leading to a series of health issues that very few people notice. The problem lies in the blue light emitted from light-emitting diode clock screens, just like the light from smartphones. This blue light suppresses the production of melatonin, which is the hormone that plays a major role in regulating sleep. When the eyes are exposed to blue light throughout the night, even if it is just a faint glow from the clock, the body receives the signal that it is still daytime. As a result, sleep becomes lighter, making it harder to enter a deep sleep state. Older adults wake up more easily in the middle of the night and have difficulty falling back asleep. The body's natural recovery process is disrupted, causing them to wake up feeling tired and drained of energy the next morning. In the long term, disrupted melatonin production can lead to circadian rhythm disorders, the system that regulates the body's sleep-wake cycle, eating habits, and energy levels. When the circadian rhythm is disturbed, seniors are more likely to face serious issues such as memory decline, weakened immunity, mood disorders, and even depression. Moreover, a constantly lit clock screen right beside the bed creates an invisible psychological pressure. Waking up in the middle of the night and seeing the blinking time can easily trigger anxiety. Why am I still awake? Or, how late is it already? This kind of thinking makes it even harder to fall back asleep, creating a vicious cycle that worsens chronic insomnia. If possible, it is better to use a traditional analog clock one with hands that do not light up or only glow very softly. If you must use a digital clock, choose one with a warm yellow backlight instead of blue or white blue, and place the clock at least 3 to 6 feet away from the bed, which is about 1 to 2 meters, while turning the display face away from the head of the bed, so that the light does not shine directly into your eyes while sleeping. As you can see, sometimes just a few familiar items in the bedroom, such as an old armchair clutter under the bed, a shaggy rug, artificial scented candles, heavy blackout curtains, a smartphone by the bed, or a bright digital clock can quietly wear down the health and spirit of older adults without them even realizing it. After the age of 70, maintaining health is no longer about grand distant goals. It lies within each peaceful night's sleep and each gentle breath you take. A clean, safe, simple, and airy bedroom is truly a priceless remedy that helps seniors maintain their health, sharpness of mind, and daily joy. So do not hesitate any longer. Take time today to take a fresh look at your beloved bedroom and boldly remove the items that no longer serve you. A small change today can bring a life of peace and better health in the days to come. Before we end this video, leave a positive affirmation in the comments as a commitment to your health. For example, I choose peaceful sleep and a life full of energy, or any beautiful intention you are aiming for. And do not forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel so you do not miss out on valuable tips for senior health and wellness every day. Let us build a community full of positive energy together, so that aging is not just about living longer. It is about living healthier, happier, and more meaningfully.